Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Candidly with Coffee.
And we are back.
Hello, hello.
We're
Welcome
to talk
back.
some smack.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, you guys.
Before I get into this episode, I wanted to remind or let you guys know, if you're not aware, I timestamp the episodes now. So if you want to jump to a specific topic or there's certain topics you're not interested in, just check the description. If you're on YouTube, it's really easy because if you pause it, you can go through the chapters. But you can also check the description on the actual podcast show notes, and that will let you guys know. So you can kind of jump through the topics. I know it's interesting because we have, I would say, like half of our listeners, they like the first half. They like the banter and the stories of our lives.
Yeah.
And then other half, they want to get like new people that don't know us.
Yeah.
Like to go to the topic first. And then as people start to get to know us, they get interested in hearing the personal stuff. But this is a variety show. It's never going to be just very like all about one specific topic. That's not why we do this.
We kind of talk about a lot of stuff. That's what's the beauty. We don't have anything like scripted or like we got to stick to this subject only. Like, no, we like to let people know what if we find something out that's the public doesn't know yet and it's good information, we're going to let you guys know. That's just the way it is.
But I also want to give the opportunity to people to not have to listen to an entire hour. So that's why I've been doing that now for like the past few months.
Yeah.
So if you haven't noticed,
it's on YouTube, right? When you timestamp it?
It's on YouTube as well, but I also timestamp it in the show notes wherever they're listening to it. So they can skip to a specific minute to listen to a topic.
And you know, it's when I watch a YouTube video and I'm trying to learn something, I'll rewind it and it goes most replayed. Like I'll watch a knockout and I rewind it and on there, it put on there on the thing, most replayed.
Oh, because it knows. It pays attention to those like algorithm
That's
things.
crazy, huh? That it knows. I'm like, man, so everybody's doing what I'm doing, rewinding it and learning and seeing the knockout of the technique or whatever we're learning.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think it's helpful for people. I know that the podcast that I love, I like to just listen to the whole thing though, for the most part.
Oh yeah.
I don't usually tune in just for like a specific topic unless I dislike the podcast.
No. Yeah.
I was trying to listen to a podcast today that was awful. It's called Namaste Bitches. It's a Real Housewives with Teresa from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then her co-host. It's just awful.
Yeah.
The whole the podcast is awful.
Man,
I'm like, how is this possible? Like,
these are celebrity women too. Right?
Why do they have an awful podcast? You know what I mean?
What does it look
like?
With
a huge following. They talk over each other. The girl that's not on Housewives literally just strokes Teresa's ego the entire time. Like
one of those.
Her ass doesn't stink kind of thing. Like,
wow.
Teresa, oh my God, your shit smells like flour. I don't know. It was
too
annoying.
Much. Yeah.
I had to turn it off.
That's a turn off when somebody's ass kissing too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hate that.
Annoying. Can you imagine if you like just were like kissing my ass the whole podcast? Like, babe, I love you so much. You're so beautiful. La 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 la. Like once in a big, while, but
yeah. You'll get that maybe once.
Yeah, once
every
in a
few
while.
years or something. Yeah. Not very often. I don't do all that smooshing stuff.
I also want to say that tune in to the end of this podcast or check the timestamp because we do have some news to share at the end of this podcast. We do have some big news we're going to share. We're going to save it for the end.
I will say you are beautiful and I do love you.
Oh, thanks.
So
babe.
There you go.
I love you too. Okay, that's
all you're going to
guys.
get.
Next year, 2024.
She won't get no more.
2024.
Yeah.
You'll hear it again.
Once in the blue moon.
Oh my goodness.
It's all right, as long as you know.
No, that's okay. I do know because it's by actions. I feel loved. That's it. I feel loved. That's what matters the most.
And we show it in different ways.
Yeah. And before getting too deep into this episode, I do not want to talk about this topic at length. I just want to mention it, that my heart goes out to the victims of the Nashville school shooting.
God. That's so sad.
It's devastating.
It scares me.
I have to say, I never had fear. I just didn't. Even though there was the Columbine shooting back when my kids were before my kids were in school.
Yeah.
I never had fear of sending my kids to school, that they wouldn't come home.
Yeah.
And I feel for the parents now that have school-age children that don't have that same like feeling I had when I felt like my kids were safe at school.
Yeah. Can I tell you something crazy? So I got kicked out of my regular high school because like a dumbass. All of ninth grade, I skipped class and smoked weeks. I wanted to be cool. I got kicked out of there. Ended up at Downtown High. Downtown High is like a reformatory school. It's all that fuck ups from the city, from San Francisco, the projects, the hood, you name it.
Like a continuation school.
Yes, that's what it is. The worst of the worst go there. There's two different gangs in that same school that I'm at. There's Sureños, with the Southern Mexicans, Norteños, which is the North. Two opposing gangs. Let me tell you, this is what I saw. I had friends. I would hide some of their guns in my locker. There was a lot of guns in that school back then, and not once was there a shooting. That's crazy. Kids came to school, gang members, with guns. That was common back then. Not one shooting at school. For whatever reason, they respected it to keep it on the streets. They'd fight, but they wouldn't bring like shootouts at school. But they had guns there.
At this point in time, I feel like
this is
schools
crazy.
should be secure buildings. Like super. This school was locked.
Yes,
it was locked, but it was a private school, and there's no like community officer on scene or anything like that.
There needs to be security. Like we're in an office with a monitor, and you need to be seeing the whole perimeter. We get one person watching, and there has to be another person outside, like everybody checking in that's armed. They have to be armed from going on. We cannot allow schools to not have armed guards.
They should be highly secured buildings, like my job. Like, when I worked at Netflix, it was a highly secure building. There was lots of layers to get into the offices. Yes. There needs to be lots of layers to get into the classrooms. Yes. They need to have bulletproof doors.
Yes, facts.
And if security is breached in the front, the door should lock automatically.
Yes.
In the classrooms to protect the kids in the classrooms. Anyways, like I don't want to get all into this and a gun control thing or whatever. I don't think it has nothing to do, my personal opinion, with gun control laws. It has to do with mental health.
Mental health. Because
all of these people have one thing in common. They're suffering from mental health.
Yes. When you want to kill kids and you want to get in shootouts and you know the cops are coming, most likely you're gonna get a shootout with them and die because they're gonna outnumber you. They're gonna have more guns than you when they do show up. So something for sure is off up in here by 1,000%. Something's wrong with your mentals.
Yeah, there's a mental health crisis
in
this country.
Bad.
That's what the crisis is. We talk about mental health all the time.
It's real AF.
But my heart is broken for the families and for the people who are forever traumatized from this. So sad. So sad. All right, moving on, switching topics because I don't want it to be so heavy all the time on this show. I want it to be entertaining.
Yeah, I want you guys to laugh.
On the last episode,
at us, laugh with us.
Ironically, we were talking about aging gracefully, right? And I personally I feel like aging gracefully is tweaking things and doing things to make myself feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel everyone's entitled to do whatever the hell they want. You know what I mean? I can't stand judgment. Everyone wants everyone to be like them.
Right? Say it again. Just
why?
Yeah.
Why does your way the right way? I don't understand. Everybody is entitled. And so if there is someone out there who they don't want plastic surgery, they don't want Botox, I think there's more power to you. If you feel happy in your own skin and happy not doing anything, hey, you're going to have more money in your pocket. And I have no problem with it. But where I have the problem is when people who feel a certain way then judge everybody else who doesn't feel the same way. We're not freaking robots.
Yes.
We're not all driving white Teslas, are we?
No, nor do I want to. I can't believe I see like 4 in a row. Like I don't want to be like that.
White Teslas because I feel like
everybody's like ding ding. Okay, I'm just following everybody. I'm following what society's telling me what to do. I'm walking a certain way. No,
I feel like it's the iRobot movie all over again. Like robots are going to come out of the Teslas. Anyways, but I just feel like I think it's fine to feel that way, to not be, want to do those things, but I also think it's fine to do those things. My issue is with judgment. I don't like judgment, and we're all different. Yes. But on that same note, right after we posted that episode where we were talking about it, Justine Bateman came out, and I'll pop the picture on the screen.
I know the name. I don't know who that is.
She was on Family Ties. Remember that show, Family Ties? She was the Sister Mallory with Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
do you recognize her? She's right here.
Dude, it's been so long.
She's in her 50s, and
that's her.
She's aging, and she came out to say that she's embracing aging. She refuses to do anything or whatever. So it kind of like became this is a hot coffee topic, by the way.
Hot coffee.
Cheer on it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
She came out and said, and you know what? fine. I think there's nothing wrong with that if you choose to do that, as long as you're not judging the people who aren't.
Yeah.
And I also feel like aging gracefully, that's a subjective term. Meaning it's subjective to your own opinion. I feel like I am gracefully applying Botox to my forehead. That is graceful, but I also feel like aging gracefully can be embracing gray hair. Some people are doing that.
I see that in the gym now. Women embracing the gray hair.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all.
It's what makes you happy, because if you're truly happy with your appearance, then you will be happy on the outside and on the inside. And that's what matters the most. But where I have a problem is when I feel like people get judgy. Like, I shouldn't judge someone who chooses, like Justine Bateman, to not do those things, which I don't. Like, that's your prerogative, but I also don't want to be judged for doing those things.
And, we need to decipher or figure out what the hell's wrong with the human psyche. Joe talks about that too, Rogan. Is why do people always want you to do what they want you to do, or look a certain way, or they feel this is the best career path for you? Who the fuck are you to tell me that?
I know.
Don't worry about you. You're not special. You're not God. Who are you? Get off your pedestal and stop telling people what to do or how to live. You ain't nobody special. Go live how you want to live and do what you want to do and do you. That's it.
I feel like your life would be a lot easier if you don't expect everybody to think and feel and act and look exactly like you, because you don't want to live in that world.
Yeah. You
don't want to live in that world.
Nah.
But you think you do. You think you want everyone to look and act and think the same. It would be a very boring existence.
Boring.
Differences is what make the world go round.
Yep. Opinions, healthy debates.
Yeah.
Healthy discussions.
So I just thought it was funny that kind of became like a mainstream conversation right after we did that episode on that. Because I just feel like it's not about what's right or wrong. Like, should you do things? Should you not? It's about just do what you want to do. But don't judge people who do things differently than you.
So you know what I just saw? A 71-year-old lady do a bikini fitness comp. You know how much blowback she probably got from her friends? Somebody came in, why are you doing that? You're so old. You're too old. Why are you She's doing that because she can, because she's a challenge, and she took on the challenge.
That'll tell her she looks older when she's leaner, because when you lean out for a show, you kind of look older. They'll they'll make their comments.
Yeah. But yet they're 300 pounds obese, knocking at death's door.
Well, it's a lot of times.
Then they point the finger, trying to make fun of this person. Like, hold up, you don't want me to point the finger back at, because I'll break you in half. I'll crush you and have you crying, because you better look at the mirror before you start judging somebody. I'm just keeping it real.
I just feel like stop and think. If you find yourself, look, we're all human. If you find yourself kind of hating in that way, whatever it is, stop and reflect for a minute. It's usually some sort of reflection of an insecurity that you have.
Facts. That's super facts right there.
So really stop and go, wait a minute. Why am I hating on someone for, like, say, many years ago, someone, say, getting a boob job? Why am I kind of like internally feeling some type of way and go, oh, her dad's paying for her boob job, and like talking crap about it?
Deep down they want it, though.
Probably because I'm mad because I want one, and
yes, they do.
I haven't been able to
yes,
get
they do.
one.
Facts, exactly. They ain't not going to admit that, but yes, that's the honest truth. A lot of times they're projecting.
Or sometimes it's like I don't have the guts or the money to get to do something or whatever, so maybe I'll feel a certain type of way. Then you have to check yourself and be like, man, I'm jealous. It's okay to be jealous, but not in a hateful way. Like, I mean,
you know what else? You know what else gets hated on a lot is older fighters. Oh, why is he fighting? He's kind of older. He's older because he has the guts and stones to do it. And he has the balls to step in, and you don't. So you're judging him. So stop, because you don't have the guts to do it.
Yeah,
this
so
person
you have
does.
to stop and think. And it's okay to feel feelings of jealousy. That's natural, but not in a hateful way. Like Lisa's going to Cabo. She's leaving to Cabo, I think Sunday. And I was supposed to go on that trip. I was invited to go on that trip. It's a girls' trip to Cabo. My cousin's 50th birthday.
Yeah.
I cannot travel right now because of my dad. I am his primary caregiver, and I cannot especially leave the country.
Yeah.
So I keep telling her, oh my God, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. You're going to have so much fun. I'm so jealous. But I'm not jealous in I want you to have a horrible time and I want your trip to get canceled kind of way.
Yeah. It's more like.
It's like, oh, I'm jealous. I want to live vicariously through you. I want to see pictures and text me pictures, and I want to have a drink for me.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Have a couple of drinks for me.
But there's people who are like haters. Like I've been on like before where I was going to go on a trip and people will be texting me like, "Oh, you're going on that trip? Did you know the weather's going to be bad? And I heard that there's tons of crime there right now." Like they'll just
love that word, heard.
They'll pepper me with negativity, and I'm thinking to myself, this is just jealousy. Like this is just jealousy. Come on, I'm like I think things positively. Yeah. So there's the difference between jealousy that's not malicious.
Yes.
Because I'm truly jealous a little bit. I'm like, oh man, she's gonna be like
who wouldn't want to
sand
go
in the
to Cabo?
toes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun.
Pool, drinks on the pool.
And that's
weather,
healthy
sunshine.
jealousy. But if you find yourself trying to like burst someone's bubble, take a freaking look in the mirror and you need to fix that. That is a very ugly
fix that
personality trait. And it's ugly. It's going to make you ugly on the inside and the outside.
If that's the one thing that we can extract out of human DNA, if we figured it out before the baby was born, if you could take out jealousy, insecurities, haterism, any of that malicious shit out of our DNA, that would be good, actually.
I think that
I wish they could
jealousy can be healthy in a positive way.
I mean, I guess it can. It can motivate you. It can also motivate you, too. Like, you know what?
Yes.
This person's doing way better than me.
Yes.
I need to step my game up. Jealous in a healthy way.
That's jealous in a healthy way.
Yeah. I need to step this person's pushing me to step my game up. I'm jealous, but in a healthy way.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
I always felt that way.
Yeah. I get inspired, I guess. You could say.
To me, it's inspiration.
That's what I do, yes.
And aspirational, know?
Yes.
So, anyways, that's it for the hot coffee topic. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Let's just try to like embrace each other's differences and, stop drinking the haterade.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Okay. Next up, can we talk about AI for a minute? Artificial intelligence.
It's getting scary.
You guys, I don't think you realize this, but right now, most emails, chats that you're having with companies, it's not a person. Not a person. It's artificial intelligence.
It's creepy.
So you're not dealing with a real person. Even if like you think like you're part of a program and you're emailing your coach or whatever, because trust me, I've been being been approached to implement AI into my business to handle client communication.
Uh-huh.
And you literally are not talking to a person, it's a computer. So it learns the person that it's mimicking. So I can go, for example, if I were to implement AI into my business, I would set it up to where somebody send me a question via email and the AI would respond as me. It learns my verbiage, the way I talk, the words I use.
Yeah.
And the more you use it, the more information you feed it, like all of my old email responses to educate the AI, it will literally become me.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I know. And you know what's crazy is that Neuralink, like everybody laughed about Elon Musk and his Neuralink. Yeah, right. Is that possible? According to Dr. Andrew Huberman, he hired one of the best, if not the best, neuroscientists out of Stanford for the job to create whatever it is they're trying to create for Neuralink. Because, their ultimate goal is to get the brain to send signals to the leg for paralyzed people to walk.
Right.
Like my sister, who was born that way. Help people out like that, which is crazy, like where we're going, the technology. Pretty soon we're going to have, like the Matrix, a little thing in the back of your neck where you stirred it in and you can learn everything quick.
I mean, and I'm not saying, I don't have a stance one way or the other
Scary.
on, I think that there could be a lot of cool benefits to it or whatever, but there is something to be said. But it's nice to talk to a human and explain your scenario. Like I had an issue with Google recently.
Yeah.
That's what made me thinking about this. I had an issue with Google and YouTube and my AdSense. Mm-hmm. And it said contact customer service chat, and it made it seem like you were going to talk to a customer service rep. It was very obvious to me that it was a chat bot, and it was just it's not as obvious as it used to be because those chat bots have been around for a while. It was less obvious, but after digging a little deeper and going further down the rabbit hole with this, I realized like, dang, there's absolutely no way I can talk to an actual live person or an actual human to get help with this. This is a robot. And it was Lululemon. It was also a robot. I had a whole text conversation with Lululemon. However, Lululemon was able to resolve my situation.
Yeah.
And it was a robot.
That's crazy. It's just nuts the way we're heading. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to be real in the future? Like, I wonder that.
I know.
Because think about corporations. They're thinking like, oh, I'm just going to throw it out there. Think about McDonald's, how they're salivating like, yes, we're not going to have to pay people in the future.
Yeah, I know.
If we could buy robots or even install robots that are permanently there and know exactly what to do, how to flip the burgers, how to take your order. As soon as you pull up to the drive-thru, a handle comes out, hands it to you. Everything's going to be automated.
I'll tell you what's going first. I'll tell you what's going first. Call centers.
Yes.
Call centers are going bye-bye.
Yep.
It's going to be all artificial intelligence because it is a lot of money to staff those call centers.
Yes, it is.
So that's going bye-bye. But that's sad because we're going to further distance ourselves from that human contact, that human interaction.
Right.
And that's tough. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Because it can also be used for bad things too. Because I thought about like, AI gets so smart. I'm a hacker and I write a program. Let's just say I'm good. I'm a coder. I write a program. I have AI. Hey, AI, I want to go hack Janine. She has millions of dollars. Write a program, a code. Try to hack your account. AI is going to do everything it can to get into your account to breaks the code.
Oh, it'll know.
And then strip
it'll
you of
go
everything.
Get to know me, and based on getting to know me, by getting into my emails, looking at my social, because I'm so out there, it will be able to replicate me. It will be able to predict my passwords. It will be able to predict so many things because there's so much data that it could download about me because I have a lot of information that's public. Yeah. So it's really, really...
So these firewalls might not work in the future.
Oh, it's just
They're
really
going to have to
scary.
create other firewalls.
There's a lot... And I don't know. I feel like it's the Terminator all over again.
It's
Remember
like
they said like they became self-aware and then they turned on the humans, the Terminators, the Arnold Schwarzenegger days.
We laugh about that, but we grew up on George Jetson's flying little spaceships. Or remember their phones could talk and they could see each other?
And that was so cool.
Talk.
And now it's like
we have flying cars
normal.
too these days. We have cars that go into the ocean these days too. So
it is crazy.
Yes.
Okay, we're moving on, and yes, we're gonna get into it again because I cannot believe what a hot button this is in my world, in my DMs, in my life.
Oh,
the Ozempic great debate.
Oh boy, here we go.
I want to share some comments that I've received and some information.
Good.
But
just blast somebody.
I recently partnered with a company called Better Weight for Life. And the reason I partnered with them is because they are an avenue, a way to get your hands on Ozempic or Wegovy, the branded medication by board-certified physicians, in a subscription style, makes it a little more affordable. But so it was synergistic for me because my feelings on it are, I think it's a great tool. I think if you qualify for it, and you can somehow afford it, somehow muster up the finances to afford it, I think it's a great tool if you've already tried lifestyle interventions. If you've never given it a good go on the lifestyle interventions on your own or with like a coaching program or something, that would be your first stop. Chances are you've already done that time and time again and done multiple programs. So it made sense to me. I was comfortable with this particular company because they have some guidelines on who they will prescribe it to.
Smart. Okay. That's good.
BMI of over 30, which means you are clinically obese. You have a diagnosis of obesity.
Yep.
Or over 27 with a comorbidity, meaning you have you are overweight, but you also have a secondary health condition such as diabetes, insulin resistance, hypothyroidism, high blood pressure. Because that is dangerous, those two together. So I did like that. And so I partnered with them, but I knew it wasn't going to be super popular. I knew it was people I'm going to unfollow. So dumb, right?
Let's talk about that. I'm going to get in on this unfollow. Hey, you guys, it's all cool and all. You unfollow. This is not a relationship. You don't need to announce the breakup. Just unfollow.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry to burst your bubble. You're not that special. Trust me when I tell you, neither her nor I are losing sleep or shedding a tear when somebody hits unfollow. Like, okay, whoop-de-doo. I got 144 something other thousand followers. Whoop-de-doo. You're not special, bro. Ma'am. I'm not going to shed a tear, lose sleep.
I know.
You don't need to announce it.
My point is, I don't want to get even into the unfollows, really.
Yeah.
My point is, it's just
clowning.
Yeah, but it's just so like, again, it is bred in insecurity.
Yes.
Maybe you're feeling some type of way because you can't afford this medication. Yes. And you secretly want to do it, but you can't. And so you're upset about it.
Yes.
So let me just give you a little spiel on Better Weight for Life. They are more affordable than I've seen. So I've been polling people that DM me that say they're on the medications. How much do you pay? And I've been curious. Kaiser charges, depending on your insurance, but for some people it ranges from $1,200 to $1,500 a month for weight loss. When you want Wegovy or Ozempic for weight loss. Blue Shield. So one of my clients one of my followers was a Blue Shield. They got a quote for $1,600 a month.
Wow.
Better Weight for Life, depending on which program you select, ranges anywhere from like $800 to $950 a month. And then they gave me a coupon code. It's Janine 250 off for $250 off your first month. So you can get started in the as low as like the $600-ish range, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And you cancel anytime. It includes the medication and the doctor's appointments. That being said, that's that. You have to qualify for them to prescribe the medications. And they are the branded medications. Okay. Beware of places that are calling it like weight loss peptides and all this other crap.
Be wary of those peptides.
Yeah, the people who hold the patent, Novo Nordic Medic or something like that, they hold the patent on the medication. They have not approved that medication to be in these peptide concoctions that are being offered steeply discounted by these weight loss clinics. So be mindful of that. The biggest thing that people get upset about with me is they are upset because I'm promoting allowing people to use this medication for weight loss when there are people that need it more. Okay. So what they're referring to is the fact that Ozempic is used for diabetics. It's a medication for people who have diabetes, type 2 diabetes. But I want to shed some light that, first of all, 1 in 10 Americans have type 2 diabetes. That's a lot of people.
How many?
1 in 10.
Wow.
90 to 95% of those cases are due to being obese.
Self-inflicted.
What you can call it, self-inflicted, right? But people are saying, like, why would you promote people taking this for medication for weight loss they should just go to the gym? It's just an ignorant statement.
Yeah, I hate when people say that. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
Just go to the gym. Why don't you just go to the gym if you haven't been going for years?
Yeah,
it's not that easy.
And the truth is, so then I dug a little deep because people are saying because of all these people who are weight loss, there's a shortage. Now, the shortage, don't blame the people that are getting the prescriptions. Blame the manufacturers of the medication. The shortage is of the smaller doses. So for diabetes, this medication, these GLP-1s are prescribed in much smaller doses, like 0.25 milligrams, and 2 milligrams for weight loss. So like you get them in like these little pens. There is not a shortage on the 2 milligram ones, probably because they pumped all of their money into pumping those out because they make a lot more money off of those.
Yes.
They have to sell to less people and make way more money because it's 4 times the amount of someone who takes it for just diabetes alone and not obesity.
Yes, I see.
It's not the consumer's fault.
Nope.
But the company has come out and said that the shortage should be resolved early this year. So we're already in March. It should be resolved by April. So yeah, they had to pump the supply and demand. People, yes, this is normal in any business. And mind you, medications is a big business.
Big business. Billions of dollars are exchanging hands daily in this business.
It is normal when a demand increases for something, yes.
Supply runs low.
Supply runs low and cost goes up.
Yes.
That is just normal business. Again, should the person getting the prescription be at fault for that?
No.
If Susie Q goes and gets a prescription. She's obese, a BMI of 31, gets her prescription. Should she feel guilty because somebody else now can't get their diabetic medication? No, that's not her fault.
No.
She has a reason to take the medication as well.
Yes.
Because guess what? Susie Q is on her. So again, it's the judgy stuff.
Yes. And then you know what I always say too, babe? What is your life worth to you? Like, yes,
Right.
It's expensive, but what is your life worth to you? If we could tell you, if you lose weight in a year, you take this stuff. It's going to cost you a lot of money. You take this stuff, but in a year, you gain 10 years of your life, 15 years of your life back, whatever the case may be. Are you going to do it, or don't do it? Keep gaining weight, and you're going to die in a few years. So you have to look at that. Like, people don't invest in themselves either, and they need to stop looking at it as expensive. Is it going to better my life myself? So you got to look at it differently.
And I do feel like, maybe insurances will change and start to cover more of it. But like right now they aren't. When it comes, they are when it comes to a lot of insurance, depending on your insurance, they do cover the costs for diabetes related. So if you have diabetes, a lot of them have. So like I have someone who commented saying her insurance covers it for diabetes. Or I had some people say they have to pay like their copay, $25 for it for diabetes. But for the higher dosages and for like the weight loss benefits, you're taking like 2 milligrams versus someone who's taking it for diabetes takes maybe 0.25 milligrams, significantly different.
There you go. So that makes sense.
But the people that want it for weight loss, they can get their hands on it for weight loss if they're willing to pay, because there is not a shortage right now of the dosages, the higher dosages. Again, that's not the fault of the consumer. That is the fault of the manufacturer, of the company itself, who put all their eggs in the weight loss basket because that's where the money was.
Yep.
But they're saying it will be resolved. So when you take that factor out of play, should people who are obese be able to take the medication? Absolutely. And then I've got people saying like, oh, but there's so many side effects. There's every medication. Have you not watched commercials? Like every single medication on the market, everything, depression medication, chemotherapy,
oh my goodness,
everything.
It'll fix you, but it'll have like 20 side effects. Like, and then the way they do these commercials, people are all smiling and happy. Like, you're happy it has all these side effects and you're throwing up,
there's
nauseous.
Always those side effects.
Yes.
It's always about weighing out with your doctor, weighing out the pros and the cons.
Yes.
I'm giving you my perfect example. My dad, stage 4 cancer, was offered chemotherapy. He weighed it out for him and the quality of his life, and he decided it wasn't worth it. So he opted out of chemotherapy because the side effects were too intense for just adding a little bit of time to his life.
Yes.
So that's an example of you weigh out the pros and cons, and then you go forward with taking the medication or not. But to say that somebody who's overweight shouldn't be afforded the opportunity to take this medication is just so selfish.
Especially if they're obese, because what does obesity lead to?
Yes.
Come on. What does obesity lead to? Diabetes, if you're not diabetic. High blood pressure, which I have. Heart disease, which is the number one killer in this country. Heart disease. So you're telling me you're more important than this person?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like, listen, I want my
Humans always
stance
think they're more
clear.
important than the other person.
People with diabetes should be able to get their hands on medication.
Yes.
But people with obesity should also. Now, I also want to say, yes, for my personal opinion, is a little bit concerning that because it is so expensive for weight loss, people will not stay on it long enough. And it's going to be very difficult for them to lose the weight. So that's going to be something they really need to think about.
Yeah.
Because like I've said before on here, I've talked to people that it's a struggle after because of the intense appetite that follows. But, there are ways around that. Now, I have also listened to several podcasts for weight loss doctors that prescribe the medication. Mm-hmm. And this is basically the stance across the board. If you are someone who suffers from chronic obesity, meaning you have been obese pretty much your whole life, genetically you were predisposed to obesity, you were like an overweight child, and you have lived in a status of obesity for the majority of your life, you are somebody that needs this medication long term.
Yes.
Genetically, psychologically, physically, it is going to be very difficult for you to maintain weight loss that you sustain taking this medication because of the amount of time you have been obese.
Yep.
Now, if you fall into the category of maybe you gained 30, 40 pounds since 2020 because of COVID, because of lifestyle changes, and that made you, tipped you into obese or caused you some health conditions. Maybe you entered menopause and had like a physical ailment, and all of a sudden you find yourself 30, 40, 50 pounds heavier, but you pretty much were not obese for the majority of your life. You fall into a category where you are more likely to be successful taking the medication short term, getting the weight off, and then implementing really good lifestyle modifications to sustain the weight loss.
Yep.
You do not have to take it long term. So there's a couple of different categories people fall into. And I think it's just important to know that going in. But I stand behind my feeling of, yes, there are side effects. Yes, we probably don't know. Potentially there could be something down the road, even more side effects that come up. I don't know. I'm not a. I
mean, people took that shot and not knowing what the future is going to be without enough data. Let's call it what it is. You took it because I just rushed because the government and doctor said so. It's good for me. And a lot of people were scared and thought, I don't get too deep into it, but again, you took that knowingly without knowing what the side effects are. There was just not enough data. Sorry.
So like I've said from the beginning, and this is before I knew that I was going to partner with a company. I'm sure some of my videos kind of on this topic have gone kind of viral, and I've had several companies reach out. This is the first one that I decided to partner with because although I know people are going to do it for vanity weight and people who have money that want to lose 10 pounds, like I've said before, they're going to do it. I think that it should be reserved for people who qualify. That's what I liked about Better Weight for Life is that they work with people who qualify based on those, criteria, and they, it's board certified physicians and branded medications, not these peptides infused with all these vitamins, and they're saying
fake news. They're selling you fake news, snake oil. Yeah.
Be careful if you're being offered some program that's like $500 a month.
Yeah.
Not Better Weight for Life is actually the cheapest I've seen.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyways,
there's hope. It's a good thing. There's hope for the obesity, diabetic community. There's hope because we're in a crisis. Like me and you, we go out, not to gaslight nobody, but we go out and we see majority of people, we live in San Jose, California. A lot of people are overweight and big. Women are bigger than I've ever seen ever. Like, women are petite. These women are like 3-4 times their size. They're walking in a frame that doesn't belong to them, and they look uncomfortable, miserable. They need help. They're stuck. They don't know what to do.
They need help because
they're in prison in their own body. That's what it reminds me. You're in prison. You're a free person, but you're in prison in this body.
Yes, and it's overwhelming.
Yes,
it's
too much.
Overwhelming.
Too much. I don't know how to get off the ground. How to get started.
You still need the lifestyle modifications, but with something like Ozempic, it makes it easier to implement the lifestyle modifications. So you can't ignore the lifestyle modifications.
No.
They're more important than ever if you have any chance on sustaining the weight loss. But it's just nice that there's something that quiets the chatter long enough to get people to be like, okay, I'm not like constantly thinking of what I'm going to eat next and, resulting to food for pain meds and everything like that.
Or
and
when you're not feeling
there's nothing
good.
wrong with that.
Yes.
And again, I feel like back on the jealousy thing, I think a lot of the haterism is because deep down someone is wishing that they could afford to be on it. And I wish you could too. If you want to, I wish everybody who needed it could be on it and be able to afford it. But that's not, can't control that. But I do, think that if you can manage it, people will finance a breast augmentation for $12,000.
More.
Finance a year of Ozempic.
Yes. That's what I said. How much is your health worth to you?
Right.
Especially if you could turn it around and you could envision. Somebody showed you a picture like, I'm just making an example. You're 250 and somebody showed you a picture. And a year from now, if you did Ozempic, followed a clean lifestyle, good nutrition, working out, drinking water, sleeping, and they showed you a picture which you look like 100 pounds less in a cute dress or in a bikini, you're going to be like, hell yeah. But see, people don't see that.
Right.
They don't see the vision.
Because they think it's impossible.
Yes.
And I feel like Ozempic gives people hope that it is possible now. There's finally something out there. And you know what? I'm not ashamed that I think it's a great tool. I have said on this podcast, and you can find old episodes, I have always debunked. Anything that comes up, I'm like, garbage, snake oil.
Yes.
And I have always said one thing. When and if something comes out that actually works, I will shout it to the rooftops.
Yes.
Have I not always said that?
Yes.
So here I am. I'm shouting it to the rooftops. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. You can unfollow.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
That's it.
Because I feel like obesity is just as scary and detrimental as diabetes. And
oh yeah.
And it's just ridiculous that people think that, one is scarier than the other. Someone with obesity, every time they go to sleep, there's a chance they're not going to wake up.
I'm 5'9", 48 years old, roughly 185, 190 pounds. I'm healthy for my weight, height, everything. I could be 180 pounds, 170 pounds ripped. The high blood pressure doesn't go away. That's what sucks. Right. So imagine if I was obese, how much higher that number would be.
And
I work out vigorously daily.
Is you have that genetic high blood pressure that you can't control. If you could control it, you would do anything. You would do what you needed to do to control it.
Or to get rid of it
right.
altogether. Yes. I have to take a medication. It calms it down a little bit, but I have to do all the other stuff too.
So don't be ashamed out there if you're interested in taking Ozempic or what. Don't let people shame you out of it. Just don't.
No.
It's coming from their own insecurities.
Yes.
And they're pointing the blame at the wrong people.
Yep.
And that's the facts. You're pointing the blame at the wrong people. It's the manufacturers of the medication. It's the doctors that they are saving it for the people that are going to make them more money. It's not the person who needs the meds.
No. And a lot of celebrities are getting shit because they're using it.
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to happen, though. You're not going to be able to control that. And don't discount somebody's weight loss as like, oh, they just took Ozempic. Like, I feel like people are just going to
or with men,
look down on it.
He takes testosterone replacement
steroids.
Therapy and put on muscle. No shit, that's what you're doing it for. Yeah. Hello?
I don't know.
50,
haters again.
Older men, they need help.
Again, it's the haters.
It's always something.
Anyways, guys, if you are interested in looking into it, I will put the link in the show notes for Better Weight for Life. It's a subscription service, cancel anytime, and they prorate. So if you end up doing it for only 10 weeks and not 3 full months or whatever, they will prorate that last month. I was really comfortable with their program. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly happy to be working with them, and I'm not ashamed because I would have been first in line for give me the shot. Give me the shot.
You should put up a picture of when you looked at your worst so people could see for the new listeners, new followers. But look, I'm keeping it
if you
real.
don't know, I was over 200 pounds. And oh my gosh, babe, if there was something.
What did you feel like?
Then,
Let's reflect on that. Let's stop on that. What did you feel like back then in that body of yours?
I felt
pounds?
like there was no way out.
What did you feel like?
I just felt depressed.
Did you feel
sad.
trapped?
I felt like I'm never gonna get this weight off. It was so sad.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
And no resources.
I had nothing. I was desperate.
Yeah.
And I would have done anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would have done anything, and I'll worry about because back then I didn't think about my health. It was all vanity. I felt so ugly. I was invincible when you're in your 20s in terms of health. So I didn't think about my health.
Yes.
I'll be honest.
You talk about the vanity. Yes.
I thought about
we
the
all
vanity.
Do in our 20s.
And I thought, I will do anything. I don't care if it's unhealthy. I will do it, and then I'll worry about my health later. And I know a lot of people have that mentality. And that's how they feel about Ozempic. They're like, listen, I know everyone's telling me I'm going to gain the weight back. I don't care. I just want to get it off, and then I'll figure that out.
Yes.
That's tough. That
they want to know what it feels like to be in a healthy, lean body. That some of these people never felt that before. So you can't blame them.
Yeah. And again, like I said, if you've not given healthy lifestyle modifications a good go at it, try that first. Start there. But I feel like a lot of people have. They've gone off and on and spent thousands on programs and things that don't work. But just remember,
gimmicks,
you
thousands.
still need the healthy lifestyle modifications. You cannot escape that.
Nope.
That's the only way you're going to sustain the weight loss. So as you're losing it, you need to already be implementing those modifications. So I will leave that there, and we will move on. I want to talk about one thing really quickly. I'm on the market. I am looking for a sauna blanket.
Sauna blanket.
I decided that I want to get a sauna blanket. You know how you are all into your cold showers, and
Yes.
I hate being cold, but
love
I
being
do
cold.
like being warm. And I think that the infrared sauna blanket sounds interesting to me.
Interesting.
So I'll do like the sauna blanket. I'll put all my skincare on and get into this blanket that heats up. And you have there's a lot of benefits from that too in terms of recovery, inflammation.
Yeah. Hot's good for you too. The sauna's good for you too. Both are good for you.
Yeah, so I'm currently like sourcing a good sauna blanket because I could just see myself. I had one a listener actually recommend a red light face mask. I'm like, I can see myself in the sauna blanket.
Remember, I asked you about those.
Yeah, we talked about it. So she sent me a message saying that she loves hers.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I'm going to have my
You
helmet on.
You should reach out to a company. It might send you one.
I'm going to have my helmet
You look
on.
like a weirdo in the house.
Face. I'm going to be in the blanket, and I'm going to be snug as a bug in a rug.
Oh, boy.
But you have to zip me in.
I'll keep doing my cold showers till I get my ice bath.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
Can't wait.
So now for our big news. So over the past 3 months, since mid-December, actually, Mike and I have embarked on some education.
Yes.
With the National Academy of Sports Medicine.
NASM. Shout out NASM.
And we're happy to report we are now certified through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. And what does this mean exactly? I went ahead and did a second certification and became certified through them for nutrition coaching as well. Loved the whole curriculum. I thought it was very good. By the way, it is a 6-month course, and we completed it in half the time.
Yes. I couldn't believe at this age I still have a brain and it works, and I was able to pass it.
So when you think you don't have time, you have time. Because I already thought I had no time beforehand, and I managed to sneak that in and study 1 to 2 hours a day.
Holding down a household, taking care of your sick dad, running your business, dogs, just a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And then I got COVID at the tail end.
Then you got COVID at the tail end. Right when we were going to go take the test, you couldn't do it because you got COVID.
Right. So, but we have both passed our examination on the first try, and I also did a secondary certification nutrition coach. So what does that mean for you guys? We have decided, and I kind of put this program to bed about 1.5 years ago, and I'm going to open it back up. I'm opening up the vault and going to relaunch my one-on-one coaching program that Mike is now going to be an active participant in this program. So we're going to offer
coming out of retirement.
Yeah. And there's going to be a couple different packages, but what's different from the one-on-one? So like my Jay's Body Bootcamp is a budget-friendly, self-paced program where your direct access to me is limited to the weekly coaches chat, sometimes via email. The one-on-one program is actually completely different. It is it's for people who are ready for a serious transformation, a serious lifestyle overhaul. And there'll be different components to it, but there'll be like weekly check-ins, daily direct access to me via text message, macros, teaching you how to truly use macros in your daily life.
Yep.
And the personal training piece of it. And it'll be virtual personal training sessions with Mike as part of the package. And we will be taking a very small amount of clients, just to let you guys know. We will also be opening it up to local clients.
Local.
So if you are local and you are looking for personal training, we have a home gym here detached from our home that will be offering those services in our personal gym. Anyone who does the in-person personal training automatically gets the whole one-on-one program with the macros and all of that. It's totally different from my Body Bootcamp in that you link up your Apple Watch, you link up your MyFitnessPal. We have access to all that data, and you have access to us on the daily basis. So it's exciting.
Let me tell you something. So a little bit. Let me rewind to 2007. Got hired as a trainer for 24 Hour Fitness. I got my certs back then too, my NASA, my NCSF, NFPT. But the difference back then is yeah, we had resources, but now, thanks to the internet and social media and all this virtual, it's a different ball game. So much resources at your hand. Watch, virtual coaching, just things that we didn't have back then.
Mm-hmm.
Back to that. I was a master trainer for 24 hours, 5 years roughly employed, over 2,000 hours. I met my beautiful wife there at the gym as a trainer. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of different coming out of, I wouldn't say retirement, never retired, but getting back into the game again.
You are a very good personal trainer.
I just live the gym atmosphere, and it's important. People don't value their health. They value everything else. They invest in their cars, their homes, stock market, whatever else. But your best investment, people, is you. Is this your vessel? Mm-hmm. You can't beat that. But people don't think about it that way.
Right.
Oh man, this is gonna cost me how much? You're paying how much in the car insurance? You're paying how much in that car payment? Would you rather be alive and healthy and well, or are you just worried about going to work, point A, point B, coming home and living a sedentary lifestyle? You're not stimulated, and you're constantly down or depressed. Your mind's not getting activated.
Listen, I always think about what changed literally the trajectory of my life was hiring you as my personal trainer. Gave me a whole different life, honestly. And then moving on to Matt. Yes. It's the best money I ever spent. The best money I ever spent. So yes, a one-on-one program is not budget friendly. It's not it's not like my body boot camp program that's designed for the budget friendly kind of self-paced thing. This is different, and that's why we will be able to take on very small amount of clients. Yeah. Stay tuned, because I'll release more information during the month of April. The programs will start May 1st, and we will assess like each month and kind of take on, if we can take on more clients each month. Every month we'll open up more spots, and it'll depend on who stays on and who falls off. But there's going to be a couple of options. You can be totally virtual. And you could also be virtual and have actual one-on-one virtual training sessions with Mike, or you can be someone that is in person. So you're local here. You either want to have your training sessions here, or within like 25 miles or so, we can travel to you. So we'll have different options, different price points. And again, it is totally different. It is kind of like a lifestyle overhaul. Mm-hmm. Okay. If I got to go into your pantry to be like, nope. It's that kind of hands-on, let's get it together.
Teaching you what you need to succeed.
Yeah, and it'll be us partnered. So me more so on the lifestyle, the nutrition, the macros,
tracking,
going out to eat, tracking
your stuff,
doing your check-ins, looking at those step goals and your habit tracking and all of that. That'll be more me. Mike will be handling more of the physical fitness aspect of it. That is his specialty. Mm-hmm.
We'll have different programs for different people who are different levels, different stages.
It'll be based on your goals. Are you trying to do this for aesthetics?
Yes.
Do you have some health goals? Are you an older individual who is struggling with balance issues?
Yes. Very important for older people. Balance.
Yes. Like, are you...
Very important. Balance.
Have you been sedentary and you don't even know how to begin becoming active? Because you have to be very strategic to prevent injury.
Yes.
And to, layer on based on your physical capabilities. Mm-hmm. A lot of people start programs that they are not qualified for, and then they get injured.
Yeah. Yes.
They
jump levels.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's levels. You have to start level 1. Everybody. And then see where you go from there. Mm-hmm. You got to start levels.
So this is not to be confused with Jay's Body Boot Camp, guys. That's still here. It will remain here.
Yep.
That's your budget friendly program. This program is more for people who, listen, I used to have something similar to this program. This is much more robust now. And people loved it. I mean, it just became a little time consuming for me, and I kind of had to step back and take a break from it. But yeah, we're opening it back up, and I'm excited because I'm excited to have you a part of it. And we wanted to make sure we were going to bring you guys the latest and greatest based on current science, current data. And that is why we took it upon ourselves. You took it upon yourself to recertify, because you many certifications.
Yes.
But things have changed.
They have.
You know?
A lot of new information, a lot of stuff compared to when I did it, compared to now. It's way different. They've even revised their stuff from back then to now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then I have never been a certified personal trainer. Fitness in and of itself was never my forte, always was nutrition. So now I've just expanded my knowledge significantly based on the latest and greatest information. And I feel just empowered more than ever to really help people turn their lives around.
Right.
To really help them. And again, for my focus personally is on just making this a lifestyle modification.
And why do you need a trainer? Because of that. You're lost. You don't know where to begin. You don't know where to go. You don't know nothing. You're just lost. You need help. That's like you say, babe, can you write code? No.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin.
I'll pay $1 million. You write code. I don't know where to begin. I have no clue where to start. How to even get it going. So, okay, hold on. Hold that $1 million. I'm going to hire somebody to teach me how to write code real quick. I'm going to hire, teach me how to do it. I have to pay them $500,000, but I'm still going to, you get what I'm saying? You have to learn.
Yeah.
And it's hard for someone in the beginning.
And that's why for this particular program, they literally, it's like they're going to plug into our matrix. Like you plug in and then I'm going to take a look. Okay, this is what their activity's looking like. This is how many calories they're burning. This is what they're logging into their MyFitnessPal. Or, if you don't even, it depends on where you're at. If you have not an idea of how to track a macro, then you'll be able to take photos of what you eat all day.
Yes.
And I'll be able to look at it inside of the app. It's a totally different app. If you're on Jay's Body Bootcamp, it's totally different. But we're excited. I'm really excited because I know that the people we take through this program, we're going to change their life.
And you know what's beautiful? I just thought of something. Just a light bulb went off in my head. You know how we do these assessments, how people walk, move, overhead squat, whatnot? I suspect, too, we'll have something like a camera. You'll take a video of how this person moves, walks, all that, kind of like what we did Runner's World, so they see how we run. They took and you plug in and it'll tell you exactly. You'll know, but you'll plug in like, look, you can show a person, look, this is where you're having muscle imbalances. This is what you look like when you're walking. We need to work on these. So they physically can see and understand. Like, oh, that's why I feel a certain pain because I'm protecting my shoulders. My chest is tight. My neck is forward. So I'm always having neck issues. And you show a person, look,
and
this
then
is why.
And then based on those assessments that we do, we can program your fitness program accordingly.
Yes.
Because you got to fix that thing. You can't continue to do, try to do lat pull downs and you have overactive traps.
Yes.
Because if you keep just doing the same thing, you're going to perpetuate the problem. And you're going to just
I see this a lot too. People are doing flies. They're contracting the traps and bringing it, and they're doing
so there's a lot. This is definitely more for someone who they're ready to make an investment and they want, you get both of us as a team.
Yep.
And it literally it can change your life.
Yeah. And what they separated me from majority of trainers out there, I can also teach how to box and kickbox, which makes it fun. I incorporate into the workout.
Yeah.
So if my clients are a little bit on the heavier side, I'm going to incorporate that in, just so they're moving their body and burning more calories.
That's a lot of calorie burn. It's fun.
It's fun too.
Think good music and
gotta make it fun.
Things.
You have to do fun things.
Because if you don't figure out how to make it fun, it's just not cookie cutter.
No.
There will be no cookie cutter program, by the way. I'm not designing a program that's like, okay, you sign up, here's your program. Everybody, it's going to be tailored, very individual. That's why we're going to take on very few clients. So if you are interested, I'll put our information in the description, in the show notes as well. So you can send an email and I can put you on the list of the people that will open it up to just the list at first to see.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing some screening too.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be picky on who I want to take on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You have to apply.
Yeah.
You have to
apply. I want to make sure you're really ready for this.
Yeah, because you have to be ready to make a change. Yes. This is not about...
I don't want you to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. You got to be serious.
Money.
I don't care if you're spending money. I don't want to work with somebody who's not into it, who's not really serious about making a lifestyle change.
Right.
Like, take this serious. Take it like life and death. It's important.
All ages, by the way. Like, I don't care if you're 65.
Doesn't matter.
All ages, deconditioned, never worked out a day in your life.
Doesn't matter.
We want to help you.
Well, do me a favor, you guys. Before you day ends today, just go on YouTube and see how many people over the age of 50 decided to take on fitness and transition their body, and you'll be amazed. And they're looking better than ever. They wish they did it when they're younger. They're ripped and shaped. all mindset. They change their mindset. That's it.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool things in the works. I even want to, this year, we will be investing in our own in-body scan. So even for clients that are local, that are part of the program, even if you're local but you're doing the virtual training, you can still schedule in to come get your scans here. Mm-hmm. We'll have that set up too. So lots of cool things. I'm excited because I know.
I can't believe I'm getting back in the game.
I know.
Man, it's been so long.
Listen, I have tried to get this guy out of retirement. I have tried to get you out of retirement for a couple of years, right? It took some time, some convincing. And then just one day, we hadn't even talked about it in a while. And you were just like, I'm ready. Like, I'm doing it. And so, yeah, here we are.
You're ear hustling when I was ordering my Nasum.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it too. Because I had it in my head. I have had this concept in my head for so long, like that I just wanted to go and like change someone's life. Like, do I need to go grocery shopping with you? Do I need to, it's going to be a very hands-on program. You will have me
depending on what you pick and what you're ready to invest in yourself.
Yeah. It's kind of like your personal transformation specialists will be here. So we're super excited to offer it to, the select few.
Yes.
We'll try to take on as many as we can, but it'll be, a tight,
exclusive.
Yeah, definitely exclusive program, but we're excited regardless. But that being said, we'll also be introducing more fitness content to our YouTube channel for, those of you who aren't going to be doing the one-on-one program. You're still going to benefit from us working together more in this space now. We're going to do like balance and stability stuff and just introduce a whole new fitness series, which we have not done on YouTube. I have not incorporated fitness. So we're going to be doing that. So stay tuned, guys. We're so excited. There's so many exciting things coming.
Yes. A lot of things coming.
So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next one.
See ya.